Guys, so welcome to my channel. This is your girl Tessa, and I think there are some things that I haven't mentioned before on this channel, and I think I should have in my introduction. So, just to start it off, I am Zimbabwean and I am based in Dubai. I should have said this the first time though. I don't know how I just forgot. Okay, so now that we've got that out of the way, I just wanted to come to you guys with a series about how I moved from Zimbabwe to Dubai and how it's been like in Dubai for me. And just to let you know, I've been in Dubai for almost 3 years. And just a disclaimer, guys, this is my experience of Dubai. This is not the same as anybody else's experience. It's basically based on what I have experienced. So it's not going to be the same for each person. And if I say something and maybe it scares you out of coming to Dubai, which has happened a lot. Like, a lot of people have asked me about working and living in Dubai, and I told them the truth based on my experience, and it scared most of them to actually come to Dubai. Okay, so for this video, we're going to talk about how I moved to Dubai and actually why I moved to Dubai. So, to be honest, I've been going through a lot in my life at that time, and I just moved from Cape Town back to home in Gweru, Zimbabwe, and I just needed a break. Honestly, I needed a break from being at home, from being an essay, from being just generally being on the African continent. I'd had such a bad experience. And everything just seemed to be going south at that point in my life. And so I decided I needed a fresh start. And then one day I was scrolling on Facebook. You would not believe, on Facebook. Actually, and then I saw this advert from a company that is called NPPS Talent Placement. And they are more for a recruitment agency. So I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna respond to this message just like that. They were looking for people to work in retail in Dubai. So I automatically clicked on the ad, and then it took me to their page and everything. It showed me how I was to apply, which was basically just sending a CV to them. And so I did that. I sent a CV to them. I told nobody. I didn't even tell my parents. I just sent a CV to them, and they gave me a call and asked me to come to the capital city, which is Harare, for an interview for the first date. So now, because I actually needed to get out of the house and go to Harare, I decided I would tell my parents. I told my dad. I told him, okay, Dad, this is what happened. I applied for this job from a Facebook ad, and they called me for an interview, but actually I'm scared to go because I've heard all these things about human trafficking. So my dad said, you know what, it's worth a try. I mean, you're only going to Harare, you're not going overseas automatically. So I got on a bus, I went for the interview, and it was actually a great interview. It was unusual actually because they didn't ask so much. I just responded to what they asked, and that was it. And then I went back home. After a week, they called me back and they told me that I was shortlisted for the position, and now they would interview me with the managers in Dubai being on Skype. So I still had to go to the office in Harare because that's where they were going to conduct the Skype interview. So I went in for the interview. I was really nervous. And you know, like when you're late, I had been literally running because there was a distance to walk from where I dropped off until the office. So it was just all crazy for me, and I hadn't had like time to just compose myself. So I got into the interview, and there I was on Skype with these two managers who are based in Dubai. And they started to ask me questions, you know, pertaining to stuff about myself, my hobbies, you know, like what I like to do in my free time. And then they asked me one very important question, which was, are you willing to work long hours? Guys, this is a very, very important question. If you're ever going to think about applying to Dubai, especially working in retail, hospitality, be truthful to yourself. Are you willing to work long hours? And for me, this was going to be my first formal job. And of course I said, yes, I am willing to work long hours. I am willing to work extra hours on public holidays or when we have sales. I was willing to do everything, of course, because this is a job interview. You cannot say you're not willing because you need the job. And they asked me about my retail experience. And to be honest, I never worked in retail, like in formal retail, but my mom has a flea market table, and most people in Africa would know about, like, it's so like an open market, and actually some of them are under roofs, but each person has their own table and they'll be selling clothes and shoes and things like that. My mom is into that kind of thing, and I have been there. I always go and help her out. So I did say this in the interview, to be honest. I told them, okay, this is what my mom does, and I go there all the time. And I don't know if this helped in any way, but I left the interview feeling okay. Went back home, and I waited. The waiting starts, and like your family is looking at you, or my parents. They were looking at me like, you went for that interview, do you want to tell us? Like, have they told you anything? Did they reject you? All this, and you're just waiting. And you're trying not to think about it. You're trying not to think so much about it, but you have them in your ear asking you all the time, so have they called you? Did they call you? Did they send you an email? So this was what was happening to me at that time. Later, over a week, imagine, and they said they were going to contact me in a week. This was slightly over a week, and I remember, to be honest, this is like a true story. I was sitting in the toilet. I was sitting in the toilet, and there I was, Doma number 2, and I was holding my phone. Literally, I was like this. And do my business. Then my phone starts ringing, and guess who it is? It is the person from NPPS. And there I was sitting on the toilet. So I just had to answer the phone. So I answered the phone, okay, hello. They're like, okay, is this Tessa? Like, yes, it's me. Like, okay, we're just calling you to let you know that you're one of the people that was selected to go to Dubai. I got off the phone with them, and then I started screaming. Okay, so picture this. I'm in the toilet. Like, maybe I've been in the toilet for a couple minutes, and then I start screaming. My whole family ran to the toilet door. They literally started banging on the door like, are you okay? Are you okay? What happened? I was like, guys, I'm fine. I'm coming out in a bit. Well, because I had to finish what I was doing. So I got out. Then I told them the good news. I just told them, you know what? I'm going to Dubai. I'm gone. And that was the beginning of a very interesting journey. Okay, so I had to sign the job offer. I thought to myself, okay, for all the questions you're going to answer yes, because you're willing to do everything. They asked, okay, again in the questions they asked, are you willing to work long hours? Guys, this is such a big point. Being willing to work long hours is such a big point. So, as it said, are you willing to work long hours? I was like, yes. Are you willing to work on public holidays and all this? Yes. Are you willing to work more than is required of your shift? Yes. I had no clue what this question meant. It wrote, are you willing to work in any of the 7 Emirates? It wrote Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah, Ajman, Alain, and Al Quain. Yes. I ticked yes, but I had no clue what this was asking me. I had absolutely no idea. Everything I ticked yes, I was ready to go. I had to do my police clearance. I had to do my medicals, because medicals are also an important thing when it comes to coming to Dubai. as most people know, that you have to get tested. You have to get HIV tested. You have to get tested for TB and these kind of things, because these things are things that might affect your residence visa application in the future, like once you actually come to Dubai. So you have to make sure that all your things are in order. And then one day they give me a call, they tell me that your Dubai visa is ready and they've sent your ticket. I was like, what? No way! You could not believe how excited I was. I was like over the moon excited. Once we got to Dubai, we had somebody waiting for us at the airport. This is where the first shock, like the first shock came to light. When we landed, and you know, you get to the doors that you the doors when you're leaving the airport, getting into the car park and wanting to get into the car. We arrived, and of course I'd heard that Dubai is a desert, but man, I didn't think it was gonna be that hot. When the doors opened, first exit into the car park, guys, I couldn't breathe. It was hot. It was humid. The air was, and mind you, I forgot to say that I moved to Dubai in July. July is winter for us back home, and so you know, you've been donning your bomber jackets. You've been wearing all these huge jackets and jerseys and stuff. We got to the hotel, and these were like hotel apartments. So they were like 1-bedroom apartments, and they had a kitchen and a lounge, and then they had 1 bedroom which is shared between 2 girls. So now we're in this apartment, and it's me and the one girl, and everything was beautiful. To me, everything was beautiful. So I thought the accommodation allowance that they were going to give us as part of our salary was going to be enough to stay in a 1-bedroom apartment, which I would share with one person. But I'll tell you what, I was wrong. I was like wrong. I was like way off what was going to happen. I didn't know that I was going to get to a point where I was going to end up so devastated, and I was going to be crying. Like, I want to go back home to my parents. I want to go back home to my mother's house. I want to go back to my own bedroom. I just want to go back to Zimbabwe, you know, like, I didn't know at that point that I was going to feel like that a couple of weeks down the line. And boy, guys, it was so unreal. But anyway, I guess you guys can catch that in my next video. I will tell you more about the aftermath of the initial arrival, how I then got to settle down, and how I ended up staying despite feeling that I could have gone back home. Alright, so thank you guys for watching this vlog.